is one long journey from Auckland to Oaxaca. It's not for the faint-hearted, especially when you're traveling with a disability. At the moment, we're in rainy season, monsoon season, so it's very hot, very humid, and very wet. Gracias. ¿Cuánto cuesta, señor? My name is Robbie Francis. I'm 27 years old. I'm from Hamilton, New Zealand. I'm the co-founder and co-director of the Lucy Foundation.
Robbie is in Mexico to check up on her business. She's helping coffee farmers improve their yield with the goal of exporting coffee beans to New Zealand.
We're a social enterprise, basically a bunch of young people who are really passionate about disability inclusion and coffee. This journey really began when I had the opportunity to intern for a human rights organization in Mexico City. I began to see how people with disabilities around the world live their lives.
I was managing a cafe and venue a few years ago, and Robbie walks in and she told me about this amazing project and idea that she had and asked me if I wanted to see a business plan and a bit of a proposal of her idea.
I can remember Jessica coming home and just saying, "You won't believe who I met today. I met this, do you remember Robbie?" And she's like, she's doing this amazing thing with disabilities and coffee, and it's in Mexico.
It was a social enterprise, and it was amazing that she approached me on coffee. What she didn't realise is that my sister has massive physical disabilities, so is differently abled, and my father's Mexican-American.
Oh my goodness, Miguel, welcome to Mexico.
I'm a coffee grower in Colombia. Robbie, she said that if I would like to come and be part of the project, and I say, yes, let's do it, and here I am.
Do you like coffee? I would love a coffee if you're putting one on. The idea came about where we were looking at how we could engage people with disabilities and people without disabilities in activities that brought them together. And we also wanted to include coffee because in New Zealand, you know, we love drinking coffee. So this is the third time we've visited the region, and we're working with a couple of families. We want to ask, how has their coffee been growing? What have they been doing since we last saw them? Certain steps need to be put in place to improve the health of the coffee plants. This is going to lead to the families being able to get a better product and being able to sell it for a higher price. Our plan is just a draft, really. We need to propose it to them, to put it to them, and to get their feedback. Hola, buenos días, ¿cómo estás? ¿Bien? Hola, buenos días. Hola, Eduardo, ¿cómo estás? ¿Bien? Bien. Nice to see you. I'm nervous, but I'm so excited. Like, this is it. It all begins now, and I don't know what's going to happen, but bring it on. Well, should we get started on the update then? I mean,
Yes.
So again, thank you everyone for coming up to meet with us today. For the last 2 or 3 years, we've been talking with you about what are your challenges, what are your strengths, what do you need, and we've also told you a little bit about what New Zealand is looking for in coffee. The good news is that we have a committed buyer for the coffee.
Porque el principal problema, pues, de lo que siempre hemos hablado y de lo que hemos visto, porque usted puede sembrar lo que quiera, pero si está pobre la tierra es muy duro que la mata crezca. Por eso empezar a trabajar en las compostas, aprovechar todos los residuos y empezar a sembrar cultivos que van a ayudar a aflojar la tierra, a hacerla más fértil.
Ya hoy yo me imagino que ya comienza a subir, porque por el abono que tiene. Pero sin abono, pura tierra no va a crecer. Esa tierra, ¿sabes por qué no crece pura tierra?
The soil is the main concern and main issue. Y todo es válido y todo...
Miguel himself comes from a coffee farming family. He is very innovative when it comes to exploring new ways of farming coffee, especially if it's organic and environmental. So he has his own coffee farm in partnership with some people, and he already provides coffee for the New Zealand coffee market. He just has this wonderful way with people, very gentle, and yeah, people just get him.
You have to be somewhere in between and make them understand what people from New Zealand want to let them, are trying to show them, are trying to teach them, and as well all the different ideas or even fear that the people in this region have around producing coffee, as they are in a really tight setup of mind. They are not easily moved from what they are used to. Now things are not working really good, so that's the possibility of a click. I will try to come and show you how it could be better. I will do it with my bare hands. I will show you what I want you to do, and in that way they will see the difference of a healthy crop and a non-healthy crop.
We want to work with you to figure out a system that means that you are not out of pocket on these days where you're working with the coffee.
Que igual afecta en general la economía de la familia. Entonces, pues es algo que toca mirarlo y entenderlo.
Ella que no puede trabajar, pues, con familia, con...
Todas esas inquietudes se van a ir resolviendo a medida que se desarrolla la conversación.
A lot of these families are living in very difficult situations. They don't have a regular or secure income. Now, they would love to just work in coffee and just do that, that's their thing. But that requires time, it requires effort, labour and money. So because they don't have those things to put in there, they're having to work in other jobs elsewhere around the town or even for other farmers. And so for them to bring it up and for us to have an idea of what we might do was a great way to test the waters and to see what they thought of it. Hola, Rogelio. Buenas tardes, ¿cómo estás? Bien. Nice to see you.
I've heard so much about it for the last 2 years since the rest of the team have been here. So I'm just excited to see how a farm that functions really well looks and what they're doing, and just to get a vision.
It's really chilled and a lot of quiles. Do you see?
The shade trees?
Yes. The idea in our project is to become organic, but it's a process. You will get to be organic in a term of 1 year or 2 years. So the production of organic coffee in Mexico, it's not really that hard. Thankfully, they keep their own shade trees and they have a lot of canopy trees that are really tall and that will really help coffee or the production of organic coffee. So the reality is that in Mexico, you can grow organic coffee with a little bit of help. The Pluma coffee, it's really unique because it's a progeny that developed in this area. You cannot grow Pluma coffee in Colombia or in other places. It's indigenous and unique to this area. That's the importance of Pluma. And it's also because of the township called Pluma Hidalgo, the surroundings and all the environment. So it makes a unique place to try to save and to maintain.
So this is like a beautiful plant, right?
Yes, you can see the plants that are really healthy, and it's because of the treatment. You put the mycorrhizas with organic matter, with the cal, so you level the pH, and everything. As it starts good, it will keep on going good. Every nut has a lot of cherries.
Yeah.
And this is just a young coffee tree of 2 years old. So you can see the change of a well-sustained and properly raised coffee tree.
So potentially, if we planted now, we could have something like
Similar
this
to this,
within
yes.
2 years.
Hopefully, yes.
Awesome.
That's the goal.
So this is kind of the ideal situation.
Yes. This
Perfect,
is
okay.
one of a really good farmer
Yeah.
from the region. And
Yeah.
we're only half of an hour away from Pluma Hidalgo.
So there is hope. There is hope for Pluma coffee. Fantastic.
Y ya bajamos un momentico y usted sube con Ryan.
Well, Miguel, this is a bit bigger than the wet mill at your farm.
Yes, this is slightly
Can
big.
you tell me
my
how?
farm, but we will have something similar, but in a different shape. Still, this is a really good wet mill, where you can see a main pulper,
Yes.
where you will remove the skin from the cherries.
Yes.
A floating channel, where you
Yes.
remove the beans with less density will float, and the bigger beans and healthier beans will stay down.
For this coming harvest, we need to start thinking about how we can ensure these facilities are accessible. Thinking how would someone who, such as myself, access the depulper? How would someone access the, all of these different levels?
You want to plant?
We're focusing on the environmental aspect, the economic aspect of selling the coffee, and also the social aspect of disability inclusion. When people with disabilities are included, it's not just good for them, but it is good for the whole community. People just really have no idea, do they? They sit drinking their coffee one after the other in the
Pero para
cafes.
los árboles jóvenes el sol es muy bueno.
They have actually no idea the process.
And the effort.
No, este tiene más malo.
It's definitely not for the
Reseca la
faint-hearted.
tierra. Y la vuelve
I have to
tóxica.
stop. My heart's
Sí, no,
racing
ni hierba.
pretty hard because it's so high.
Robbie is a tough cookie. She's really decisive. When she decided to do the project, she went full throttle to it. And she's now here but having people around her that are willing to come and take risks, like Ryan and Jess are coming to live here to Mexico, to be part of something bigger than just earning money or having a happy life.
I was born with a condition called phocomelia, which meant that the bones in the lower half of my body didn't develop properly before birth. I learned to walk on a prosthetic leg, and because I couldn't say prosthesis or artificial limb when I was a toddler, my leg became known as Lucy Leg. Hence the name, the Lucy Foundation. And when I was 12 years old, they amputated from below the knee to through the knee. I know that I would definitely not be doing what I'm doing now if I hadn't had the experience of growing up with a disability. For many years, I didn't identify as being disabled, and I guess I tried to hide it. I made a conscious decision to almost come out as a disabled person. I have been told that another amputation of my other leg is on the cards. I won't always be able to be as mobile and independent as I am, so I've got to live in the moment, make the most of the now.
Yo soy Epifanio Hernández y tengo 78 años. Y tengo 12 hijos, 2 hombres y 10 mujeres. Y todos, pues, los que pueden trabajar, trabajamos. Y a la que no puede trabajar, pues no trabaja, es porque no puede. Que para los gastos de la familia se redució pues con eso que ya no se da el café, porque nomás pagamos para tomar nomás y antes, cuando se daban 10 bultos, yo se los vendía al instituto. Yo estaba chavito cuando fui a trabajar con mi papá allí, una mata le sacaba 3 canastos en ese tiempo, pero ahora para llenar un canasto ya me lo dicen como 100 matas. Para llenar un canasto. Se montonaban tinas de café salían en ese tiempo. Pero ahorita estoy seguro pues, que por ahí donde había esos cafetales, ahora es puro monte. Ya no existen los cafetales. Pues la roya, antes cuando no había roya, la producción había más café, donde da el café, pero con la roya pues ya no da café por el motivo de que se cae la hoja y ya la broca es diferente, porque la plaga de la broca es otra, que se come el grano del café, como el que está en la broca. Que es donde ya comió la broca. Entonces ya se pierde ese pergamino, ese oro.
The situation with Pluma coffee, it's been a little bit dramatical because it's under threat. In Mexico, what's happening is that the leaf frost has spread out really a lot. And it's spreading much more because the soil is not that fertile anymore. The growers from Pluma Hidalgo were used to have really good crops without doing much about anything. They just let the coffee grow and they will have a harvest. Now they need to work on their crop.
¿Cómo te explicas de la reunión que hubo ayer? Sí, ¿cómo lo vi? ¿Está bien o no?
Está bien, creo, porque es del café, ¿no?
Sí, es del café.
Está bien, porque ya están sembrando, ya sembraron.
Pues ahora lo que queremos nosotros es tener abonos.
Falta todavía, y lo hago abonos y lo hago...
proteger, para que tengan mejor vida. Pues que estén más frondosos, que tengan más vida, que tengan más, ¿cómo diré? Más resistente a la tierra.
Porque con el abono vive la mata, pero sin abono no, pues tierra lavada, ¿cómo está ahí?
Y entre más tiempo nosotros ya pensamos pues en las compostas que van a ser mejor todavía.
Toda la gente me dice Lalo, pero mi verdadero nombre es Gerardo Hernández. Y mis años, ahorita estoy contando como 49 años. Yo vivo con mi hermano Leobardo y mi mamá. Son 3 nomás, vivimos en la casa.
Tanto cebolla porque comes.
Mirar de unos 50, 20 metros, ¿no? Porque no alcanza mi vista verlo bien, pues. Veo medio opaco. Páseme y machete. Sí. Ahorita vengo.
Bueno, vaya bien.
Llego más a las 5 o 6.
Si no llueve, pues.
Ajá.
Pero si llueve, está bien.
Ajá, ya me voy.
Sí.
Sí, porque mi mamá dice que yo nací así. nacencia. De nacencia he venido así creciendo. De chiquito he venido así. Por eso yo no fui antes a la escuela, porque antes fui una semana. Pero mi maestra no me aceptó. Es por lo mismo que yo no cansaba de ver la letra. No. Y no era para que yo fuera a las escuelas. Porque ya son cosas que Dios puso. El hombre ya no lo puede quitar. Sí, son cosas. Por eso yo he venido creciendo así. Yo no te reniego. Yo no digo porque estoy así, Dios mío, no. No, porque Dios ya me dijo sí. Aquí trabajo. Aquí el patrón me paga. Me da mi poquito, me da mis 100 pesos, 150, sí. Pero a la semana, ¿no? Y ya con ese dinero, ya me lo llevo para mi casa. Ya compro mis alimentos. Para que yo me puedo mantener. Así, está colgadito. Luego, lo que hago es limpiar. Así, fíjense. Ay, no le voy a decir que voy a tener, ¿no? Porque hago mal. Porque si voy a decir que tengo, porque este que aquí voy a decir que es mío, no. Aquí no es mío, aquí es del patrón.
So Lalu's house should be somewhere up here, right?
Yeah. Have you been here before?
Nah. Nope. But there's a big hill.
Wait, I will pull.
Okay. One of the most exciting things we discovered at the meeting was that Lalo, because he didn't have a farm, took this message during a workshop when we built a compost bin together. And over the last year, he has constructed his own.
How high are we here, Miguel?
Maybe this is a way that we can engage him in the business side of things by potentially purchasing compost off him for the others who do have coffee farms.
Lalo.
Hola.
Hey,
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
¿Cómo estás?
Bien.
Buenos días.
Buenos días. ¿Cómo está Lalo?
Muy bien, muy bien.
¿Cómo le ha ido?
Muy bien, aquí estamos.
Muy bien.
Lalo, we've heard that you've been working on some composting. We're wondering if you could show us.
Que nos contaron que está trabajando con la composta, que si de pronto nos puede mostrar un poquito de lo que está haciendo.
It's okay, I see. Here it is. It's okay? ¿Está bien?
Ahí no.
Perfecto.
Ahí queda bien.
Porque este estuvo, la tabla lo compré. Lo compré esta lámina por ahí, usada pues.
El costo de toda la compostera fue alrededor de 100 pesos.
Ajá, 100.
Okay,
Ajá, eso es lo que
perfecto.
costó.
It's very helpful for us to know.
Okay.
How much do you think this might produce?
It's based on what they have available or what they can buy to eat or what they have available to put into the compost. In the future, we can advise him or assess him to go in a bigger volume by sourcing stuff from other people or
From the neighbors?
asking to the neighbors, hey, I can collect your pills, I can collect things like that, and start creating more volume.
Yeah.
I think if we're going to design something specifically for making compost, then we can use what he's got and make it grow and
Strengthen it even more, yeah.
Yeah.
Ellos trajeron trabajos de por ahí que no los he hecho, pues vamos a hacerlo. Más sé cómo salga, le dije, pues lo vamos a hacer. Sí, dice. Vamos a participar, vamos a unirnos entre nosotros, porque es una ayuda para ustedes. Es el bien para ustedes, sí, le dije. Estoy cumpliendo.
I'm just on such a buzz to see
cool, eh?
Lalo take take on board the advice and the guidance that we brought last time about composting and the importance of it, and has done it himself. I don't think that's the best outcome, I think, for us.
Yeah. And the most important thing is that almost he invested into the compost. He paid 100 pesos in things to build it.
That's right. And that's a lot of money for him. $10 is a day's work.
What he's got is great for, I guess, learning the steps to making the compost. Almost like a trial run, I guess. But if he wants to do it where he's getting food from the neighbours and the community, he's going to need to be much bigger than that, 4 or 5 times bigger.
With a project like this, there is always a risk of coming across as, the white saviour or the colonialist, coming in, changing the way they do things, especially with people who are very traditional in their approaches to life. It's actually up to us to learn from them. We're constantly asking, is this okay? How would you do it? And really taking that on board, not just asking the question, but actually responding. I know that what we're trying to achieve here sounds like we've bitten off more than we can chew. And there's so many unknowns in front of us that sometimes you think, what the heck am I doing? We could be leading a pretty comfortable life in New Zealand and not worrying about these things. At the start of this week, I was feeling a little nervous, a little anxious.
Hola, buenas. Hola, buenos días.
What was going to happen? I had no idea. But it's falling into place.
No, nomás la
muestra. Unas matitas, no sé si en la bolsa de plástico.
A couple of years ago, I actually read this really beautiful proverb, a Mexican proverb, and it said, they tried to bury us. They didn't know we were seeds. Throughout history, people with disabilities have been treated as second-class citizens. We have been buried, but we are the seeds. And this is just the start. This is just the beginning. We are going to plant the coffee and watch as it grows.
Was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.